Thunder. 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 Haha. Thundercats freaking ho, baby. Wave 2. Let's get it. Alright guys, like I said, we've got Wave 2, Entertainment Earth, coming in for the win on this one. We have our Wave 2 Thundercats MOTU crossover. We've got He-Man, we've got Panthro, and of course we've got the Tigra. So, I will read through these real quick. We'll check the box art. We've got Panthro, stands by Lion-O's side, ready to defeat evil across all ends of the universe. And then next we have He-Man, the most powerful man in Third Eternia, finds kindred spirits among the heroic Thundercats. And third we have the noble scientist Tigra discovers that Third Eternia is home to many wonders, both good and evil. So, box art, beautiful as always. And so without further ado, we're going to flip it around. We'll see you on the other side and get these things opened up. And as always guys, I appreciate you joining and checking out my videos. If you do enjoy it and you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. We're trying our way over to 2,000 subs. And also, I do a live once a week. So if you are inclined to do so, you can be a channel member, Kenzo's Crew, where once a month I give a blind box to a channel member. We do have a race for all the channel members once a month. And yeah, so appreciate you guys. Thanks for the support, and on with the video. Alright, once again, it looks like I had that blurred on it. I tried that cinematic thing and I keep forgetting that it blurs out the boxes. So, here are our 3 box art. Panthro, He-Man, and Tigra. Pretty freaking awesome. Alright, now we'll get them opened up. Alright, well, first thing is that I've noticed, obviously you see their Super 7 counterparts behind them, including the Ultimates He-Man, the Ultimate Tigra, and Ultimate Panthro. But anyway, so biggest thing that I've noticed so far is it kind of reminds me of the old Casey Jones piece that Panthro and Tigra really have a lot of extras. I know obviously they're getting it set up to where you can pose them in their, their MOTU crossover gear, and then you can kind of pose them in the standard gear. So I noticed my Tigra has a little bit of a paint app problem. His nose is half painted and then the other side is not really painted, so it's a little bit crooked on the nostril there, which is a little weird, but I don't know, I guess it is what it is. That's kind of the first thing. But the strange paint is, and definitely a lot less vivid, I guess, a lot less of a bright orange. It's more of a pale color with those, and especially, and same thing with Panthro, it's just a paler with a little bit more of a blue as opposed to that solid gray, that really deep gray. But anyway, so looking at the parts that come with, you got Tigra's got his Thundercat piece to cover once that comes off. You've got his little whip with the 3 prongs, which of course has it on the one that came Super 7 as well. This one's cool because it is more of a, on a rope. It's not, on that posable. Also has the mask. Looks like the Predator style. And then it has the other pieces that are less furry. So it's more of the Thundercats look as opposed to the MOTU look. Okay, the He-Man, you've got his standard armor, and you've got his mashup sword. So you've got the Eye of Thundera and then the Thundercats logo on the other side, and then you have his freaking cool ass helmet that looks like the 2000X Battle Cat helmet that he's got, which is pretty cool. As long as it works, right? As long as it fits on his dome. That is a little weird. It doesn't go over his face, does it? That's kind of cool. If I'm doing it right. Looks like it's right. Cool. Okay. So, those are the He-Man. And of course his shield that he's already wearing. And of course all the armor that they're already wearing. Which, same thing with Panthro. He's already got this double, triple, you know, Man-at-Arms parts here. And then on the leg as well. And then he's got that cover over. So, I mean, this is definitely his... They're all geared up in their MOTU gear. And then he will have his furry ones to come secondary, which is strange because most of them are coming with the fur on. But I think it's because the fur, it'd probably be a little too bulky for that piece to cover, maybe? Not sure. You've got the axe, which will go into the part that he's holding, which I do like that a lot better than the ones that they've been doing to where you have to remove the hand and put it in there instead, like a couple of, like that turtle crossover with Krang, I believe it was. But this also has this piece that goes into his holder, and then you couldn't have Panthro without his nunchucks, which are pretty cool. Came out good. So that is the extras with him. We've got all the extras with the figures, and then now we've got our action figures. The one thing I noticed a lot about these at first was the legs are very lanky. They're very long and thin. So I noticed it when they kind of come in the packaging, their knees are bent a little bit. And then when you straighten out the legs and pull them down, I'm like, holy cow, it's a lot taller than your standard Origins figure. Just for reference here, we've got, yeah, this is your Hordak sketchbook. And yeah, he's quite a bit taller. So they've got those skinnier, longer legs, which would make sense. And I think that's probably what they're going to end up using for that 2000X series, because they, you know, that's kind of how I would imagine they would do. So you've got this really gummy torso piece. Very clear. Got the translucent green. You can see my finger right through there. Cool looking. So obviously the spikes are nice and soft, rubbery there. Here is your torso. You've got that multicolored, so you've got his vest color. You've got his little straps there with the elbow pads on one, and then the other one just is a strap all the way across. So the only one has the little elbow pad. And then you've got your little golden pauldron. Pauldrons, is that going to be a pauldron if it's that small? I guess so. So that's, and it's kind of loose and kind of bigger, which is a little weird. But nonetheless, that's the way it is. Definitely a little bit thinner in the buck as well. So it's got more of a thin waist, I guess, than the others. Looks pretty cool. And then, of course, this one does have the removable furry loincloth. Goes right on there. And then, of course, these pieces are removable as well. And then you've got his little cat feet. But yeah, one thing definitely that was different is the longer legs. Definitely noticed that. So let's just take off those. I mean, I think what I'll end up doing is actually probably still keeping them in their MOTU gear, just because, I mean, as you can see behind, I already have them in their standard gear with well, let me take this off first. I guess I should have put that one on for you guys real quick here. Does this open? No, you just have to slide that sucker up the shoulder, I guess. But you have to still have the torso off because you get it up on the shoulder and then it goes right around the bottom of the waist, which is really cool. I like how they're doing that. Different, you know, only the half cover. That's really cool. And of course, that's exactly how it looks here with the Super 7. It does have the shoulder piece also. So yeah, same process, but it's cool to where you can remove it, obviously. So that is cool. I like that. This one, I don't know. We'll see. I'll decide on this one whether or not I want to keep him in this form or if I want to put him back. I might do a mixture of both. I do kind of like the green. And I know Mr. Home Arcade had a issue with his face, and it's not the best, but I think mine's actually worse because of the paint job. I should have checked that before. I think they sent me 2 of them because they send you a pack of 4 with Entertainment Earth, and they always send you an extra one of something else. So I got 2 Tigras, so hopefully, yeah, I guess the one with the lack of bad paint would be the one that'd be good to keep in box, right? Alright, so the He-Man, you've got the same thing, like I said, it's got that cuts in more on the waist, which probably does better with fitting these extra pieces. You've got your Eternia Cat, which we're looking at it right there. Oh, alright, I accidentally turned off my phone when I did that. So, okay, so here it is. Sorry about that. Yeah, definitely just like the Eternia Cat. I do like that piece. That actually does really cool with the He-Man. And I mean, I guess there was a few people in the beginning that didn't really care for his head sculpt and kind of downplayed it a little, but I don't mind it. I mean, at least it's got a kind of a mean look to him instead of a derpy look. Like, I would much rather him be kind of like a little bit more Neanderthal than derpy. But anyway, so you've got your armbands, you've got your, again, the loose pauldrons there, and then you've got his shield with the little fangs, the saber-tooth fangs there, and then of course he holds on to that. You just gotta kind of put it in there, but for now it's just hanging off. That's how it was when it came in. But I do like it. I do like the head sculpt. Of course, this is the legs. They're going to be also the long and kind of lankier legs, and then there are his boots, which I like. Boots are kind of cool. I like the color. I mean, you've got the dark brown with the light brown together. Definitely more, you know, like barbarian stuff. You know, you do have more of a barbarian look to him. I do like that. So I think it's cool. You know, not bad at all. And then, of course, like I said, you put this little Battle Cat from 2000X helmet on him. And then I think that, well, this one's got a little bit of a paint issue on his finger. It's got a red fingernail. That's a little weird. But I do like the sword. I think the sword that Boojaboo made was a little bit better, in my opinion. But, you know, not everybody has a printer, so. And then, of course, that's his standard. So I definitely want to keep him in this outfit because I do love the barbarian look. He looks, I love it. It's so cool. It's such a different take, and it's definitely refreshing to have that different take on him. Okay, and last but not least, we have the Man-at-Arms Panthro. So here's that extra piece that has the little Man-at-Arms. You know, that's pretty synonymous with Man-at-Arms. I definitely think I'm liking it without that. Yeah. Bad paint on the chest. It is already flaking off, which is not good. Ooh, that's bad. Okay. And I think I want to take that cover off because I do like the Thundercat logo for him. I mean, I think overall it's better just to kind of do a mixture of what they came with and what the extra pieces are. Because, I mean, that's pretty cool, but I do like the fact that with him out without that extra headpiece. Like I said, it just kind of... Does it even work unless you take the head off first? I guess not. Let me just put that back on and see what we're looking at. And it just kind of floats there. It doesn't look bad in the back, but it just, I don't know. Maybe I'll leave it. We'll see. But anyway, again, long, lanky legs. He's got his other Man-at-Arms stuff there. He's got his spikes, which are, of course, really soft. And this piece is as well, is removable as also. So you've got that with his little, like they're all coming. All these newer ones have that narrower waist, which, you know, for these it's different. So I think it works. It works for Thundercats, and I think it'll work for 2000X as well once they come out. So yeah, so, and then, you know, you've got your little headpiece as well if you want to go that route. You've got his little headgear. I definitely don't want to put that on him. And honestly, now that I keep looking, I really don't want this on him either. Even though it's exposing the really bad paint job that Mattel did here. Oh, that's not good at all. Bad, bad, bad. But then, yeah, I think this, oh, this was his, right? Yeah. But then with the hatchet and stuff, like I said, you just put the axe on there and you can still have his hand instead of just taking the hand off like the way that they did the turtles. That was kind of weird. And then there's another one. It's a little longer, but at least, again, that it's attached to something else. And then, of course, it's got to have his nunchucks. Not too shabby. So overall, you know, I am so excited for this line, and I am absolutely impressed with all of it. I'm not, after looking at what they were able to accomplish with the Turtles of Grayskull, especially even all the way to the last one that I thought never was going to come with that Skella Shredder. But we already have the Skell Raw, which is probably one of my favorite ones. These three are amazing. I'm definitely excited about it. Like I said, I'm not too happy about the paint apps because, like I said, the face was off and then his chest is jacked. So those two things are the only... Oh, I actually had a paint problem on all three because there also has some red on his hand. So all three had a little bit of a paint issue, which is not that big a deal for me. I don't, you know, it's not that big. I mean, the chest is kind of... I don't know, the chest is kind of shitty. Having a jacked up, you know, his chest is pretty rubbed off, man. Like, to have a brand new figure and you can see that chest rub, like all that. Those are not nipples. Those are those are rubbed off, and it's rubbed off below too on the bottom. So it seems as though they made a mistake there. Because yeah, those are definitely not nips. Because they're too centered anyway for that. But other than that, like I said, the face of the tiger is probably the worst part. The He-Man I like all the way around. I definitely like the barbarian look. And then the Panthro is great. So definitely go out and grab them for you. These came from Entertainment Earth, like I said. They also, I believe all of these are as well from our friend Josh Sky. We've got our Power Sword of Omens comic, the mini comic that came with these three. Definitely, yeah, really, really cool. So I'm excited to read that as well. And then, of course, you got your three figures there. I've got still the two Masterverse that I haven't opened yet with the Tila and the Cobra Khan. And I should have my Moss Man in the next couple days, I guess. If not tomorrow, then it's not going to come till Tuesday because we have a holiday this Monday. So no mail on that day. But as you can see, we've got the three behind from the Super 7. And then the three in front from Mattel. Which do you like better? Which do you prefer? Let me know in the comments, guys. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I'm going to take some pictures for y'all. And hopefully didn't drag it on too long. But I wanted to get all three in one video just so I can kind of knock it out. It's been busy with work, so I haven't really had a lot of time. So instead of doing all three individual videos, I throw them all together. So hope you enjoyed. I know it was kind of short and sweet, but I will see you guys on the next one. We'll catch you live on Tuesday night on my channel on Kenzo Live. And yeah, we'll talk then. See you guys. Have a good night. Boop, 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 boop. All right, guys, breaking news. So just a heads up on the He-Man, it does have the tilted wrist to do, you know, the thing. But I see why there was red missing, or there was red on his hand, because it, yeah, came off of the dang sword. It was all over his hand. But, so that was kind of a jacked up thing. And then, of course, his head has the longer hair, so it is a lot harder for him to tilt his head back to see his sword going up like that. But he can do the pose, which is pretty cool. So other than that, yep, I'll show you those still shots and we'll get on with the video. See you next one, guys.